Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So a quick thank you to my newest Patreon supporter, Marco. Thank you. And getting right into it, Elon Musk shared a new video. So I didn't see anything about if there were any issues with the car after going through something like that. I would not recommend doing that just for fun, but hey, if you're in a bind, the car might be okay. Another quick video here from Green, just a reminder if you're on autopilot or not on autopilot to be careful and be aware. And he also brings up an interesting point about how close you follow the car in front of you. I actually personally usually allow larger gaps on the highway just because I don't like trailing the car ahead of me, but there is some sort of argument to be made that doing that can allow a situation like this to arise easier where a car thinks that they can make it into that lane because that gap is there. And Dirty Tesla says it did brake at the very end, at least it looked like it, but the minivan was definitely at fault. Even if a human was driving, that was a stupid move. And yes, although the HOV lane is meant for you to be able to go fast, even in the midst of traffic, one could argue you should definitely be careful and honestly assume that one of these cars will try to do something like this. So everybody just stay safe out there on autopilot or not. We also got some new thoughts from Adam Jonas on Tesla, the Supercharger situation, and this new Argo and Lyft collaboration. So with Morgan Stanley's $100 monthly average revenue per unit assumption for Tesla network services, charging accounts for about $14 per month, driving an annual ARPU of $168 or $2,500 of charging revenue over the life of the car. And of course, Goldman is assuming that Tesla will charge higher rates for non-Tesla owners, which we'll get to here in a minute, but that would of course bump up these ARPU figures to be much higher for non-Tesla owners when they go ahead and use Tesla superchargers. And in this new AI deal, Ford, Argo AI, and Lyft will start a self-driving ride-hailing service with Lyft in Miami, Austin, and Texas later this year. The plan is to significantly expand the initiative in 2023 with the goal of dispatching 1,000 self-driving vehicles in the 6 metropolitan areas where Argo has been testing, including Washington, D.C. And in response to himself, Elon said, seriously, negative nominal interest rates, what is the world coming to? Negative nominal interest rates just means that the inflation rate is actually higher than the interest rate. So if you put your money in your bank and say you're getting 1%, but the inflation rate is 2%, then the nominal interest rate would actually be -1 because inflation, or the cost of everything, is rising more than the interest you're earning. And this is exactly what Elon mentions in this clip.
Balances in Europe have negative interest rate, which drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, if you've got like 2% inflation on 1% interest, you're technically -1% return. But nonetheless, it is quite annoying to just see your bank balance drop in real time in Europe. Europe has negative interest rates. This is insane.
Yeah. Paying the banks,
What?
paying the banks to hold
Pay the bank to keep your money. I'm like, what?
It is crazy.
Like, what? We should definitely move that into Bitcoin. Tesla's bank balances in Europe have negative interest rates.
And this right here might be one of the weirdest patents I have ever seen. Granted, I haven't seen that many patents, but let's get into it. So Ford, they've patented a system. Now, this is an application that was published. That does not mean that it is granted. So published and granted are two separate things. Published just means it's basically available to the public to see what's going on. So Ford has this system that involves charging an EV like the Mustang Mach-E by towing it while its regenerative braking system is engaged. So literally towing a vehicle so that it can use regenerative braking to then be charged. Not even to mention if this truck is going to be an internal combustion engine or an EV truck. Either way, this seems kind of like a wasteful thing. Of course, maybe it's useful in certain scenarios, but this was filed in December of 2020 and it was published earlier this month. Now, the communication between the EV and the towing vehicle could be accomplished by Bluetooth or through the internet. And they say the electric vehicle, which is towed by the towing vehicle, may be operated autonomously. The autonomous driving of the EV may be in combination with signals from the towing vehicle so that the EV that's being towed may drive its wheels and the steering column to match the operation of the towing vehicle. So maybe I'm missing something here, but I guess if you can't charge your car, then you can call somebody to come pick it up and tow it around the neighborhood for a few minutes or hours until your car is charged. But let me know below what you guys think about this. Thought it was interesting, to say the least. But here's that note from Goldman just on a view where you can actually see the text. So Goldman estimates opening up Supercharger network to non-Tesla EVs could grow to a $25 billion plus annual revenue opportunity for Tesla. As I mentioned yesterday, I think this is such an awesome thing for Tesla in the long run. Right here, with Tesla's current installed base of around 25,000 chargers, if that base grows to 500,000 superchargers, of course, in the long term, which that could be propelled further by getting government money, this could be a $25 billion in annual revenue figure. They say we assume Tesla makes about $10 per charge in revenue on average. Example, 30 cents per kilowatt hour to add 35 kilowatt hours of capacity. And then they say, while this 30 cents per kilowatt hour is modestly above rates Tesla typically charges currently during peak times, we assume for this analysis that fast charging rates would go higher if Tesla is selling at a level to non-Tesla owners that is designed to generate a profit. So as mentioned, at least financially, opening up these superchargers should be a very bullish thing and tailwind for Tesla over the next 5 to 10 years. So GM was forced to halt most large pickup truck production due to the ongoing chip shortage. These cuts are for plants in Michigan, Indiana, and Mexico, where they produce the Chevy Silverado and the GMC Sierra pickups. Full production at these plants is expected to resume the week of August 2nd, and this shortage is supposedly going to cost the global automotive industry $110 billion in revenue just in 2021 alone. And it looks like Tesla just opened up a new store in Camarillo, California, and I just wanted to share this picture because it looks super nice. I personally love the glass buildings in the Tesla up here, so Camarillo, California, if you're in the area, go ahead and check it out. And I shared this on Twitter earlier, but this is the Hyundai Ioniq 5. It has a blind spot monitoring feature where when you put on the turn signal, it brings up the camera for your blind spot, which I actually used to have on my Honda Accord years ago. It was my favorite feature on the car by far. So can somebody out there please tell me why Tesla does not have this? I know there are rumors about patents and stuff that Honda might have this for when you turn the turn signal on, but if any of you know that for sure, let me know. But anyway, here is the video.
One of them is this wicked blind spot indicator system. So if I indicate, I get a little video feed on my driver display showing my blind spot on my left-hand side and on my right-hand side. So it makes it feel so safe. It gives you quite a lot of confidence. You don't have to look around to try and figure out whether there's anyone kind of tucked in a place where you can't see. That's really clever. I've never seen that before on another car.
And of course, let me know, maybe I'm the only one that really wants this feature, but let me know below, would you like to see this on Tesla vehicles? And a quick update on Mercedes-Benz and their plans going forward this decade. So with partners, they are planning to build 8 battery plants as it ramps up EV production. Okay, here we go, more promises from other automakers, but hopefully they can follow through. But they said from 2025, all new vehicle platforms will only make EVs. The CEO said we really want to go for it and be dominantly, if not all electric by the end of the decade. So that's great to hear. Hopefully they can execute. And Daimler is actually to be renamed Mercedes-Benz as part of plans to spin off its trucks division later this year. And they said they will unveil 3 different electric platforms, one to cover the range of passenger cars and SUVs, one for vans, and then a third for high performance vehicles, which is exciting, that will be launched in 2025. Not as exciting. Daimler is also acquiring the British firm YASA Limited to help develop high-performance electric motors. That's good. And 4 of its new battery plants will be in Europe, and 1 is set to be in the United States. And I will send you guys off today with a quick clip from our friend Simon Moore. So please take a second to like the video if you did. I hope you all have an awesome day, and a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters at the outro.
Now finally go to Mr. Simon Moores at the Benchmark Mineral Intelligence.
Senator Murkowski, Senator Manchin, and members of the committee, I thank you for inviting me to this hearing today. China is building the equivalent of 1 battery megafactory a week. The United States, 1 every 4 months. This is my 3rd time presenting to the Senate on behalf of Benchmark Mineral Intelligence in 2.5 years. In that time, we have witnessed a global battery arms race, and watch the world's number of supersized battery plants, known as battery megafactories or gigafactories, go from 17 to 142. Since 2017, China's battery megafactory pipeline has increased from 9 to 107, of which 53 are now active and in production. Meanwhile, the United States has gone from 3 to 9 battery plants, of which still only 3 are active, the same number as just under 3 years ago. Lithium-ion batteries are a core platform technology for the 21st century. They allow our energy to be stored on a widespread basis in electric vehicles and energy storage systems, and they spark the demand for the critical raw materials and chemicals. A new global lithium-ion economy is being created. Yet any ambitions for the United States to be a leader in this lithium-ion economy continue to only creep forward and be outstripped by China and Europe. So I repeat this fact: China is building the equivalent of 1 battery megafactory a week, the USA 1 every 4 months.